Good evening. Tuesday night. Time to draw. Well, I guess we're just gonna animate. We're gonna rig and animate tonight. Cool. Give some folks time to get in. Hello, Paul Spencer on Facebook. All right. Good evening. Well, so we are at part 2 of Photoshop to spine animation. Where am I? There he is. So we've got our character. This is Shield Man. The story is way back. Nintendo Power would hold these little contests where you would submit your robot masters, and I did it. And one of them was this guy, Shield Man. I actually won, in a matter of speaking, and they sent me some Capcom highlighters and a t-shirt. And so a couple years ago I decided to redraw it, and here's what we've got. So last week we did the kind of a very basic moving all these pieces. So if I head over to Photoshop, here's our character here, Shield Man, and I've got all the different layers all split up. Okay. I'm not sure if you could, let me move the panel over here for. So here are all the different layers broken up. And the script I was missing that Kelsey from last week supplied to me allows you to separate all these, or send all these to spine using so in Photoshop you go to File, Scripts, Browse, and then there's your script, Photoshop to spine. Click that, and then you get some options. Ignore hidden layers. Anything that's not obviously visible will not get transferred. Ignore background layer, trim the white space. That means it will trim it down to the image size, or the image, that the pixels, the actual pixels. There's a write JSON, and that creates a script that tells Spine where everything needs to go, and then a template image that gives you basically a single squished image of what it's supposed to look like. So I've already run this, so I'm not going to run it again. So if we jump on back over to Spine, music is a little loud on Facebook. Okay, let me fix that. I think I wanted it about -35 decibels. All right, let me know if that works. Okay, so here we are in Spine, and this is the result of our export. So we've got all of our images. They're all broken up into pieces, and they're named accordingly. So now what you do is, another key thing. So here's the origin, right? that's where your character wants to be. If we jump back over to Photoshop, what you want to do is up in the corner of your workspace with rulers, you grab the left corner and then there's this kind of crosshair. Well, that's the origin that Spine will pay attention to. And if you set things to snap and put a couple guides where you want his point of origin to be, like basically the ground, and then with those set to snap, you can snap the origin of the character. So see how it's 0 and 0. I'm not sure if you can see this on Instagram, but if you want to see the full screen, you can jump over to either Facebook Live, YouTube, or Twitch, and I have the full screen. I also have, by the way, I also have a Discord that I've started up. There's not much there now, but it's a nice place to chat and do other live streams. I'm gonna start doing some streams during the day, just while I'm just super casual while I'm working on stuff that I can actually show what I'm working on. So anywho, so here we go. We've got a character, we've got the origin set, and we've thrown it over to Spine. So that's why the root is right here, because we set that origin. And what that JSON will also do, it will place things where they're supposed to. So last week, if you were here last week, you would see that I actually hand placed these based on a template because I didn't have that script. But with the script, it does it for you. And it also sets it in the proper draw order that you want. So it's very useful. So let's do a little rigging. So like I said, it creates a bone called root. So I like to call this master control. Okay, so this will move the whole character. And then what Spine does is creates a slot, and in that slot there's an image, and it names it with that JSON. So what you now do is you go over to create bones, and you've got this bone creating tool. So from the master control, if you select a bone and you have the create bones tool, it will create a bone in and set the bone that you have selected as its parent. Just so from that master control, I go to his center of gravity, which is right around here, and I just click it. I call this one the root. A lot of this is a holdover from 3D rigging. It just makes sense to me. So from the root, I want to draw a bone for his stomach or abdomen, but I named it stomach. So I highlight it because I want to see where the rotation point is, which is right below. So I'll draw a bone up, and I want to draw it up to kind of give it a direction. Okay. I've got some different music, so thanks for the shout out. I've turned it down a little more. Yeah, by all means, let me know. Hey Chris, how are you doing? So there's the stomach bone. What's good about naming it as you go along is that you know where to place it. So we're not actually slotting these images yet. So I've got stomach, and then I want chest. And that rotation is right about here. I'm going to draw it up to right there. Call this one chest. So next after that is his head. We don't have a neck. He's just a head sitting on it. How does this sound? How is this? I have a little bit, not much, but some different audio going on. Hello? Oh, weird. Okay. I had to move my mic a little bit. Okay. So we've got the chest and now the neck. So his head kind of sits right here and points up. And then I have this part, which I call this crown, separate. And so I'd say that origin is right around here. I'm going to draw it right up to the top. So chest, we'll name this head, crown. Cool. So from here, we're going to go back out to the chest, and I've got his shoulders and his biceps as separate images because I want those to move separately from the shoulder plates. So from the chest, let's see, right shoulder. So it's not going to rotate from this, even though that would be like the hinge, but it's got to rotate from his shoulder. So let's find his right bicep. So that rotates from around here. Okay. Now what I also want to do, because I want to control both with this bicep bone, so I'm going to draw another bone underneath that one out here for the shoulder. Right bicep, right shoulder, and then I don't know, somewhere around here for his forearm, right. But I named them the joints, elbow, and then for his hand, where's his hand? Right fist, right. Rotates from around here, draw this out, right fist, okay. And then from his elbow will be the shield, so I want them to animate separately. So draw that out to this kind of crystal thing. Right shield, cool. So, and then, so that's that arm. So from the chest, we're going to go out to the left one. So grab the left shoulder. Now that's going to rotate it from the left bicep right here. So draw it down. Left bicep. Then from that, draw out his shoulder. Okay. And from the bicep, we're going to draw his forearm. Double shields. Yeah, he has kind of a buckler on this left hand and then a big shield, but he is shield man. So his power is that, or his ability is that he actually collapses into a completely shielded entity. Great work, David. Thanks, Adam. So you moved to LA. How was that? Congratulations. Thank you very much. So here's the left bicep, and then drag out that one as his left elbow. And then that child will be his left wrist. I named them for the joints. I bet the weather's a little different. So Texas to Boston to LA. There's some swings, huh? So yeah, so there's the left wrist, and then I've got the individual fingers separated, so I want to know where the rotation points are for those. Left thumb. So they don't have all the articulation. Left thumb. And then back to the wrist. Left index rotates from here. Middle rotates from about here. Left middle. And then left ring rotates from here. Okay, and then the left pinky rotates from here. Great. And then we'll head back to the root. We'll draw a pelvis bone. So where does that rotate? Rotates from around. We won't be doing a lot of rotation for the pelvis though. It's really just to sit the hips or the legs. So from the pelvis, we go to right hip. It rotates from here. Draw it down to the right knee. Name that one right hip. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with spine, we did the part 1 last week, and where we took Shield Man, chopped him up pretty crudely, and then sent him over here to spine, did some crude rigging, and then another subsequent crude animation. So this week I did a little prep separated things a lot more, front and back pieces if I needed it. I added some blinks. So now we are just kind of doing a little more in-depth rigging. So right hip, from here we'll draw down the right knee, and then right foot. Okay. Right knee, right foot, and we'll head over to the pelvis again. We'll look at left hip, so that's left hip. Draw down left knee, left, actually ankle. I think I named this one foot. Yep. On with that right ankle. Okay. Turn off create. So we've created all the bones. What I also want to do is split the foot bones. This will into two. Nope, I want it nested. Okay, and I'll call that one left ball. Right angle split. Right ball. Okay, what this is going to do is allow for some IK. So let's quickly slot some of these joints just so you can see what's going on. And we'll start with the pelvis. So I have a front and back pelvis because the front of the pelvis has to this covers the legs, the front part, and then the part behind the legs are behind them. So they're kind of the leg is sandwiched between the pelvis. So this is all 2D art. Pelvis, that's good. And then we go to stomach, drag that in there. Chest, I've got a front and back chest. Okay. Head. Crown. And I've got some eyes, and I've got his brow as well, but we won't do that. Eyebrow, okay. Head, crown, got it. So we can grab all the right bicep, okay, and then so the shoulders, the shoulder images go into the shoulder bone. Elbow. Fist goes under the fist. Shield under shield. Okay, that should be it. Okay, so I think that's the right arm rigged. So now we'll do the left. So we'll collapse the right side. Grab all the left bicep, elbow, index, middle, pinky, ring, shoulder, shoulder behind, thumb, wrist. Drag that underneath the bicep. Shoulders. Okay, elbow. Okay. Wrist. Okay, index. Middle. Ring. Thumb. Wrist 2. Oh, pinky. Name your assets or die. Pink E. Okay. That should be, so collapse them down. It's kind of a checking off. Shh. I goofed. Yeah. Shield. Okay. Good. That's all good. Chest, stomach, pelvis. Right. Right. Knee. Ankle. Okay. Ankle, knee, hip. Okay, now for the left hip. Okay. Everything's slotted and in their respective bones. The drawing order, I mean, it looks okay because there's nothing's clipping that shouldn't. So once you have everything rigged or slotted, you can go up to the top right of the interface and just filter it to bones. So you can't see any of the images. And then you can just, before you start animating, so in spine, it's all in it. There's a setup up at the top left, and then if you click it, it switches to animate. So now you can start setting keys on your bones. But before you start doing that, you want to have your fingers ready on the undo. So you just kind of do a quick little test. So we'll grab the root, move it around. Yeah, that's right. And then grab his stomach, rotate that. Yeah, that works. So he doesn't play a lot. See how it kind of clips? You can get a little motion in there, but not much. Chest, that rotates really well. That's where a lot of rotation is going to come from. Head, yep. And then his crown, wiggle, wiggle. Left bicep, so the whole arm will move, but I also want his shoulder plates to kind of move as well, just to get a little secondary action. His forearm, wrist, I'm not sure that's a good placement, but So the big idea here is that he's already kind of posed, right? He wasn't designed for animation in spine. This is kind of a quick tutorial of if you had something and you wanted to give it some slight motion, this is a way to go. He won't be able to do any like articulation or attacks or anything, but we can definitely give him a nice little idle, give him some blinks, that kind of thing. So that side works. Let's look at the right side. Yep, that looks good. It's good. The shield, the forearm, and then the shield itself. Yep. And his fist. Cool. So his legs, what we want to do is get some IK, which stands for inverse kinematics. Basically, when you have a puppet and you grab it, and when the feet rest on the ground, the knees will naturally bend because the feet are touching the ground. That's what basically inverse kinematics will do for you. So you can grab the foot, and then because the chain of bones has a hinge at the knee will just bend because you've secured the middle of the puppet and you're moving the foot. So the way we do that is we grab two of the bones and we hit new IK constraint, and then we place it right at the end, and we call this left foot IK. Alright, it might do a little twitch because it's not exactly drawing that triangle. So what it's doing is it has now created a triangle from this bone to this bone and then back. So what this IK solver is doing is maintaining this triangle. So when you move this, it's telling this angle and this angle, because this angle is changing, you two have to change so it's still 180 degrees. So do that for the right one. Hip, knee, new IK constraint. Draw it right at the end of that triangle. It's going to twitch slightly. Right foot IK. Grab the control. Yeah. Now, when I grab the root and move him up, see, his legs don't go with it, and so they solve. But we've got this weird thing with his feet. To solve that is we grab this bone and make a new IK constraint. There might be another way to do this, but this is how I do it. Left, what did I call this? Ball IK. So it creates a new triangle and it's trying to solve that. This bone, new IK constraint. Right ball IK. Okay. Now when we grab the root, the foot stays still. Because these are now solving that triangle. This triangle is being solved and this triangle is being solved. So, but when you pick it up beyond that, you have to grab the foot. And so the easiest way to do that is just make the ball IK controls children sorry, I want the controls. Make the ball IK children of the foot control. So then I just have to grab the foot control. And there you go. You're all set. So now that he's all rigged up, ready to go, we can do some animation. So I have one that's already set up. So I'm going to save this project. It's kind of like those old cooking shows where it's and here's the cake already done. I just wanted to make sure Hi George from Instagram. Wanted to make sure I had it right, so I'll just save this one and then open setup 2. Okay, so he's already rigged. I don't have the constraints. Let me do that real quick. But why am I using this one and not the other one? Well, because I have the eyes rigged, and I don't want to do that because that takes a little time. A ball IK. Make that a child of the foot. Okay. New IK. Right ball IK. Make it children of the foot, the feet. Good. Plus it's got a little better rotation. See how the foot or the what is the calf robot shell slides over the foot a little better. So I've also got his eyebrow set up. I've got his eyes. So he's set. One more thing I'd like to do with rigging is to color these, but that's not important right now. So we're just gonna spend the rest of the time animating, doing a nice little idle. So we'll head over to animate. I'm gonna save this as Shieldman Anim Idle 1. Cool. So, first things first, we grab we set the filter. I don't need constraints. Okay. So we grab the root, and then, so it's on auto key, which means if you make any changes, it will make a keyframe. So we're gonna set a key for rotate and set a key for translate. Then we'll head over to 60. So Spine automatically sets their frame rates to 30 seconds or 30 frames a second, but you can decide what the frame rate is when you export, if you're exporting the frames. So we've got a key here and a key here. So in the middle, we'll just drop them a little bit. Cool. Well, I'm going to give them a little rotation too. And then we just move up. Keys from at the beginning and end. So we're now in the chest. We got a basic. This is the idea, you know. So I want to offset his rotations though, like he has to stay balanced. So grab his head, give his head a slight bob. Jarang says, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? You know, hanging in there. We're doing some rigging and animating in Spine. How are you? So let's offset the... So he goes this way, so I want his head to offset that. Not too much. So these checkerboards, it's a good way to gauge rotations. We'll grab his crown. It's very floaty right now because we're going to get it a lot more snappy, but we want to get the basic motion, so this little offset is premature. Okay, so now we'll do the shoulders. Okay, there's the arm, and I want the shoulders to respect what the arm's doing. Oh, I had that reversed with the rigging. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So we're gonna animate the shoulder first, and then we'll tweak the... I think that was a better solution at the other rig. Turn up the graph. Do a slight turn, and then set the keys. Okay, same with this. All right, get all the basics going. About 12 minutes left for you on Instagram. Don't be surprised if I go longer. Last week, it kept going, so I don't know. We're just gonna... I meant to look into that. If Instagram changed their rules. Before you got an hour, and it was strict, and they'd cut you off. Let's see. So I actually had an idea of putting an IK on the shield, so he could set it down, and it would stay. How would that triangle work? Boom, boom. Yeah, maybe another time. So we'll animate the hand. Yeah. Okay. Set those keys. This is too much. Okay, now we're gonna do a little offset. And then at 1 second, we'll have them blink. Okay. And then quickly move that up. 1, 2. Eyes closed. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Five minutes. Okay, want to get this hand in there. Okay, get these fingers in there. Nah. Nah. There, that's better. Okay. So now we're going to offset everything. By 1. Okay, so I'm just offsetting everything by a frame to get kind of secondary action going. Okay, that is what I want. Index, shield, middle, ring, Okay. And there you go. Simple, easy. There's a lot of tweaking to be done. You have a graph editor here, and then you can smooth out a lot of these curves. But you don't really want to do that until you've got something going. So what I want to do real quick is this shield. It doesn't have any weight. So it starts here. So I want it kind of sticks over here. What's that square? Okay, I see it. Well, if Instagram holds the 1 hour long, we're about done here. So to all of you on Instagram, thanks for coming by. You can continue to watch full screen mode over on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Continue the chat. I'm gonna do some more ironing out. I want to make this nice and smooth. So I'm just gonna let it play out, because last week it just kept going. So we'll see what happens. But thank you again for coming. I hope this was helpful for any of you would-be spine animators, Photoshop to animation. Yeah, thanks for coming. So here we go. We've got, see how this plays. No. So I'll grab this half step. That was just a rotation. Delete that. Slide this one over. The first thing I want to do is look at the graph on spine, or the root, excuse me. I do not like the graph editor, by the way, in spine. This tells me nothing. So it does it for all of the So it's better just to use it as linear and then add your own. So we can just Hey, thank you, Gilbert. Thanks for coming. It's very twitchy in his head because it's trying to match something. Shield is very twitchy. The rotation shouldn't change though. So the right arm needs to hang back a little bit. The hand needs to change a little bit too. There we go. So if I had more time, what I usually do, and so I'll set another frame, like maybe this half frame over here to another second. So then it's a loop, right? And then I just offset things, and it still goes to that next keyframe. So but this is a good place to start. So it's hard to start finessing things. But that's good. I'm glad. That's what I was going for. It's a little tricky because that jitteriness right there. I think it's also an issue with the rig. The wrist is not. Yeah, so we're going to copy this frame. 75. Delete this. make a new frame. Copy this. Much better. So kind of the shield. See how it like drags right there? Yeah, it is fun. It doesn't take a lot to get started. I mean, I rigged this up on this stream. So you can quickly get going. So it's really nice to take a painting, cut out the pieces, throw it in a spine, and then there's because he's like a hard surface character, there's a thing you can do. Let me save this. And we'll end with showing a little bit of the where is it? So maybe let me try the other one. If you grab, I want to turn it into a mesh. How do you do that? I'm like trying to remember everything. Oh, it's the, yep, image. Take the image. So let's see, what would be good? Let's do this shield. Where's the shield? Right. Right. Okay. So you go to the shield, and you turn it into a mesh. Then you edit the mesh. So right now it just makes it a quad. I'm trying to remember. Create. Yeah. You start adding points to the shield where the image is. Okay. I'll start deleting the extras. Right? And then we'll modify these points. And the idea, well, let me create. Okay, modify. And what's really cool, so I will also, so down the middle of it, basically, roughly, real rough, and then down here, that'll work. And then we'll do another bit this way. Yeah, okay. Good. weights. Bind it. Goes. Let me create another, weights. Gotta create another shield or another bone just for the shield. Okay. Shield 2. Perfect. Weights. Nope. Gotta go back to the image. Okay. Weights. Bind. Okay. Okay, so I want this bone to cover the purple one. Yeah, we'll just see what the auto bind does. It may be fine. So we'll do shield 2. Let's see if this works. I don't want to create. Okay. Yeah, well, squishy shield. Not what I wanted, but you get the idea. So now I can, when I'm moving the shield around, I can also, we'll have to mess around with that. But you can, what I wanted to do, I was trying to do it at the last moment. Okay, I want those all on shield. Okay. Now these inner ones, those I want as shield 2. Okay. There we go. Okay, better. Shield 2. So now we can do a little more 3D. So when he, let me do a little animation real quick. So translate. Okay. Going back and forth. Cool. You know it. You get it. So you can give it a little 3D to it. So you like pin pin the edges and make it actually go around. Yeah, whatever. A lot you can do, but again, this hardly took any time. So if you had the muscle memory going, you could do a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna end it there with the squishy shield. So thank you everyone coming. This is always a fun time. Really nice for everybody to be here, and this was fun. So I will post the updated animation to social, and then we'll see you next week. What? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna end you on Instagram. Thanks for. Oh, hi Shania. So we'll say goodnight. Good night, Instagram. And to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. And we will see you next Tuesday. Later.